with regards to Hazrat Ishmael and Hazrat Mustafa, one Christian reading the Holy Quran said that the descendants of Isaac is given, but not the descendants of Ishmael. Now, the Christians
of
Isaac is given and Hazrat Ishmael is not given, and they already don't believe that, or some of them don't believe that Hazrat Ishmael is blessed, his seed is blessed. So they cannot see that how Muhammad could be a prophet or could be the blessed seed. So is there any short answer to that? I spent quite a lot of time and still they were not convinced.
The first most important principle to be kept in mind before answering such question is this, that the validity of the question has to be challenged to begin with. On common sense, on our knowledge of history, if this is acceptable, it might have been said in the Bible, even if you don't debate that. I mean, even otherwise, it can be completely rejected as a valid question. If it is correct, what the Bible says, that only the chosen son of Abraham was Isaac, and the prophethood was to remain within the descendants of Isaac, then it would also be inferred that Allah was not the creator of the rest of the world. He left the entire world completely unattended, and He was the creator of only a certain people, and of that only a certain line. This is not acceptable to any human being normally, because the concept of God and the concept of His creation and the concept of prophethood, they all become so limited, and they don't mean anything for the rest of the world. So it has to be rejected outright, this question. Why should it be? If Allah is the owner and the creator of the universe, if it is for Him to decide every issue, then how can one impose it upon Him that He should create the prophethood from a certain lineage and He should restrict the prophethood to certain descendants of the prophethood? Anything of that nature is putting a restriction upon Allah.
Yeah, but the thing is that if the Jews accepted Jesus as the Messiah, then possibly the Holy Prophet would have come from the Jews.
Why? This is what I am discussing. The Holy Quran has mentioned a retort to all questions of this nature, and that is the main principle to which one must take. The Holy Quran deals in one sweep of the hand with all the questions belonging to this category. It says, "Ahum yaqsimuna rahmat rabbik." People from various walks of life, from various schools of thought, they come and make different demands. Some say that he should be the descendant, the new prophet should be the descendant of so and so. And some say that he should hail from that and that city. And some say he should be from that and that people and nation or religion. So the demands from all over the world vary and they are different. Then the issue is only this: who is going to decide whom Allah should give His blessings? Is it Allah or somebody else? If Allah is free to choose, let Him choose. Because it is not just their point of view. The fact is that the Holy Quran enlarges this question in the context of many other demands. There were Arabs who said he should have hailed from that city, that big city and that big city, the twin big cities. Like the Muslims today demand that the Mahdi should have come from the two big cities, Mecca and Medina. At that time when Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam appeared, the two big cities were not Mecca and Medina. They were two different cities. So the demands, if you further go out of Middle East and go to India, the demand there would be that the prophet or the final prophet or the final, let's say, manifestation of God was to appear from among the Brahmins. And the Buddhists would say the final blessings of Allah was to be shown to the descendants of Buddha, and so the descendants of Confucius, and so the descendants of Zoroaster. It goes on and on. So how can you handle each one of them without there being a central weapon of defense available to you, which would hit them all together and with the same severity? That central weapon has been mentioned in the Holy Quran. That the question of who is going to be chosen by Allah rests with Allah, and he will not be dictated to by human beings. So that's all the attack upon Islam from all sides. Secondly, from the biblical point of view, too, you should be well versed and you should be capable of defending the position of Islam. The fact is that Hazrat Ismail is mentioned in the Bible as a blessed son, as revealed to Hazrat Ibrahim before his birth, and he is promised of unlimited bounties by Allah. And when you remember, it is said that when Abraham prayed for a son, and he was given the glad tidings of Isaac, you know what he said? He said, Tere Hulur, in Urdu, it says, Tere Hulur Ismail ki jeeta rahe. In your presence, it suffices me that Ishmael be given a long life. That particular verse of the of the Bible decides the issue, not only in this respect, in the respect of the question you have asked, but in other respects as well. They claim that Isaac was the first son. And if Isaac was the first son, how could Abraham reply after receiving the glad tidings about Isaac, that Tere Hulur Ismail ki jeeta rahe? Let Ismail, the long life of Ismail suffice to me, if you provide him with long life. That means Ismail was the firstborn. And as a firstborn, he was recognized as the first official representative of Abraham. If Hazrat Abraham had not looked at him as the true descendant and inheritor, he couldn't have said that. He should have shown great pleasure at the fact that although I was given a son before, but he having been born out of out of a lady, let's say, don't you put that in slave? Huh? Not concubine, that's in haram. Concubine is haram. Born women. Well, exactly, that's right. Yes. I was thinking of this. Because they claim that because Ismail was born out of a bondwoman, so he could not inherit the blessings of a prophet. That is the first step they take in that direction. Now, we can counter that through this saying of Hazrat Ismail. If Hazrat Ibrahim was of this opinion, as the Christians would have us believe he was, then when the glad tidings of Isaac was given to him, he shouldn't have said that Ismail was quite enough for him. That is an additional blessing. Because Ismail, having been born of a bondwoman, could not have been enough for Abraham if he had not believed that he would inherit his blessings all right.
But there was a discontinuation from Ishmael to Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa.
Yes.
But in the line of Hadith, there was a lot of prophets in the line of Isaac. So she was basing on actually this discontinuation from Ishmael to Muhammad, whereas in the other line,
that's quite right. All right, that doesn't make any difference at all. The fact is that there is a continuity observable of force in the line of Isaac, but then at the time of Jesus Christ, he is abundant, and it was prophesied by other prophets as well, like Moses, that from among your brethren Allah will raise a great prophet. So that shows there was one prophet to offset the weight of an entire line of prophets. He was to be so great, and he was to be born from among the brothers, not the cousins in fact, not the direct line of Isaac. And then also the parable of the vineyard, which has been mentioned in the New Testament, you know that parable. That is also very clear, that someone else is going to come, and this time it is not going to be the son, but the father himself. That shows that relationship of Hazrat Muhammad, peace be upon him, to the rest of the prophets was like this. His coming was the coming of God himself. The coming of Jesus Christ was by the maximum extension of imagination, like the coming of a son. And this is what has been described in the parable very clearly. So it doesn't make any difference whether there is a long lineage of prophets before him or not. The question is, the weight which he carries is so great that compared to that, the rest of the prophets all put together don't carry that much weight. This is, in essence, which has been disclosed by Bible itself in so many places, in so many forms. So, I hope you follow. After a question has been asked from the men's side.
Assume that has been found, as you just explained. But I want to know how Jesus actually became the descendant of Abraham. Because there's no proof from the Bible at all that he was descended from Abraham. So how is it possible for us to...
how is it possible for the Christians to prove that?
Well, that was my point. But there's no way in the Bible to find out that Jesus was actually the descendant of Abraham. The genealogy starts from Joseph.
According to them, he was the descendant of Allah.
Yeah, that's right.
The plain truth is that.
That's why I just brought this point.